my peoples? It's your boy E here, man. And look, I gotta talk about something, and it's very important to talk about, man. And look, you know, once you've escaped certain people, escaped certain things that used to be around, people used to be around, after you got away from somebody who used to who you've had traumatizing feelings with, who might have done certain things, had a certain characteristics about them, that you used to deal with when you was around that person, and you've escaped that person. After you've dealt with certain things like that, there are just certain things that you used to probably deal with from people that you had these experiences with, that you're not fit to just let somebody else walk on up and do the same thing to you. There are just certain things you're not going to have. You're just not having it. You fought hard for your peace. You fought hard for the process of your healing. You fought every day to keep yourself in line after dealing with certain things of that nature that definitely mentally did something to you. And you're not going to allow nobody to come in and fuck up what you built for yourself by bringing some of the same characteristics or traits that other people used to do when you was around them, that you had to escape from to build and become better after you got out of their presence. You're not fit to fall back into that. Now, that could be anything, and if a person will not respect how you feel and how you don't want to go through certain things again, if they're trying to be close to you, then they need to get the fuck on. They might as well just move the fuck on. And like I said, that could be anything, man. That could be, somebody cursing so much, cursing like a sailor, cursing all up and down the block. And you don't like that person is cursing so much because the person or a person that you used to deal with or that you had these bad situations with used to do, they used to curse you out a lot. They used to curse like a sailor, and that gave you some sort of traumatizing feelings. And so anybody else doing that around you, bringing that towards you, probably would trigger you in that type of way, because you feel like, damn, that's what I dealt with when I was with whoever this was. And when you are someone who lets a person know, say, hey, look, man, when you do this right here, it makes me feel this way. So can you stop doing it? And you know what I'm saying? If you tell a person that something makes you feel a certain way, as a real friend or as somebody who really cares about you, they're going to at least apologize and say, hey, well, look, my bad, I didn't mean to make you feel that way, and I know that you've been through some traumatizing situations that put you in this mindset, and I get it. And guess what? I'm going to try and do better. They may not say what I said verbatim, but it's just the direction is what I'm talking about. They could at least try and apologize and hope to do better, in hopes of doing better, to not make you feel that way, because a friend should care about how their friend feels or how they making their friend feel, or whoever that is who's supposed to be close to you. If you're trying to get close to somebody, you're supposed to be worried about them. You're supposed to care about how they feel. And whether you did something on purpose or not, if you didn't do it on purpose, it shouldn't even be an issue to just say, hey, I didn't mean to do that. Hey, I'm going to try. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? You might have been doing this for a long time, and guess what? It might be hard for you to stop just cold turkey. So at least within time, I can see that, hey, you're at least trying to stop doing it so much. And that gives more comfort to the person, knowing that, with time going by, you are actually trying to do something that can stop triggering me. You know what I'm saying? I see you trying. But if you got to go back and forth with me about it, or tell me how you feel some sort of way for me even calling it out and making it about you when I was the one that felt like something, and I'm just highlighting it and letting you know that, hey, this made me feel some sort of way. Can you try and stop that, or at least You know what I'm saying? Try your best to try not to do that, because I used to deal with that from another person who I had bad experiences with. You know, as a friend, you should try and understand and try and reason with some things. And when you can't even reason certain things like that with a person, then you might as well stop dealing with that person. Because basically, they're not caring about your feelings. They're more caring about the fact that you even calling it out. If they gotta argue with you about it, it's because they only care about that you're calling it out and that you want them to stop doing something. So obviously, they either want to keep doing it or don't care about themselves doing it. Matter of fact, they only care about how you made them feel by, you know what I'm saying, putting it on blast. And I just feel like if you're going to do that, then that means you don't care about how I feel. You don't care about me. And that is not, and you know what, you got to, respect is supposed to be given, you know. And how can you respect somebody that you don't care, when you don't care about their feelings? That means you don't respect them at all if you don't care about their feelings or about how something made them feel. Now you can say, oh well, you just being sensitive, or you can say all that you want, man. But see, there are certain things that you can help. And if it's something that you can help and can actually change, then that means you can at least try and change it. Obviously, you don't want this to grow because you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I can see if you was born with a defect where your eyelid do this, and you always looking at somebody like this, and somebody like, damn, you looking crazy. You make me feel some sort of way. Well, that person can't help it. They born that way. But when it's something that you can actually change, like if somebody says, "Stop! Can you stop cursing so much? It's making me feel so way." If you can't even try and stop doing that, that means you don't care about that person. If somebody says, "Hey, when you talk over me like this, or when you know what I'm saying, ignore what I'm saying when I'm talking to you, because it made me feel some sort of way," like the narcissist I used to deal with, who used to do me like that, try to make me feel like what I said wasn't important. If they are even communicating this to you and allowing you to understand why they feeling that way, and they're just telling you how it makes them feel that way, and if you can stop that, and you know that it's something that you can stop, or that you can help, or that you can at least try and help. Like I say, because sometimes you've been doing stuff for so long, you've been programmed, and you have to kind of recalibrate yourself a little bit. And it takes time to get that all the way down sometimes. Like, I still be cursing sometimes, but I try and stop. So I try and slow down. I do try and slow down. I'm just used to doing it. You know, but I'm just saying, like, if there's something you can do to help it and you know you can, why not try and do that to make your friend feel better instead of arguing with them about it? Try to tell them how that does it, like why are you so sensitive, or tell them like, oh well, why are you feeling that way? Like, it's not about it's not like why am I feeling that way, it's just the fact of it made me feel that way. Can you understand that? And can you at least try and, you know, reason with that and understand that I'm just saying, I'm actually giving you a cheat code of how to help me be better around you or feel better around you. I'm giving you the code. I'm giving you the answer. But if you don't want the answer and you still want to argue with me about it, that means you don't care about how I feel. And you would rather keep doing it than to try and stop it. Obviously, it's what I feel, because it's like, otherwise, why even be defensive about it? It's just me trying to tell you something about something that you can do to help that something not be a problem anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, man, you know, certain things you might have been through that was traumatizing, you don't want to see it in another person. And especially, I mean, if they're trying to call themselves being close to you, you can't be around that person like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're going to try to get close to me, some things you just can't do, or I'm going to let you know that, hey, that won't work. There's just some shit you just cannot do. Some shit you might do on accident, but some shit you just cannot do. And some shit you might do on accident, but if I let you know about it and tell you about it, and you can't even still try to, you know, do something to help that problem, that means you don't care about that problem. You know, that's all it means. And whether you want to say it be different or not, it's just that's how that looks. And I'm going, and hey, I've been through enough shit to show me how some shit look. So if you're exhibiting those same things that I've already been through from certain people, I'd just rather not deal with you at all. I'd rather you just have you block the fuck off and not even really want to come your way, or have access to you, or have you have access to me, because it's like like I said, I fought hard for my peace. We fought hard for our shit. We fought hard through tooth and nail to get our sanity back, to get our minds back in order, to keep ourselves from going crazy. We've been through too much to allow somebody to bring some more shit back to us that we've already experienced from other situations. And that's just the bottom line to it, you feel me? So I'm just shooting it at y'all, man. I just feel like it was something important to put out there. I just felt like I need to go on here and say this. But anyways, with that being said, y'all, I do love you all, and peace.